Hello and welcome back. The new year. Can't believe it. 2024, where did it go? Anyway, we're going to start the first video of 2025 with, it's a bit of a haul video. You know, we went on a bit of a shopping spree, as you could say. Lots of stuff. Couldn't resist a bargain. Who can? And I've got to say, a bauble isn't just for Christmas. It's for all year. So moving on, here we go. I hope you enjoy this video. It's a bit of a lengthy one, so make sure you've got your drink of choice and you sit back and relax. So we went to Asda, HomeSense, Aldi, Shein, Temu, Dunelm and Hobbycraft. Oh my gosh, lots of places. So without further ado, here we go. Asda, my gosh. So Asda in the UK, equivalent of Walmart in the US. We found some baubles and these were half price. So these are glass, by the way. Particularly love the detail there around the top. You could just leave it as it is, but our plan is to zhuzh them up a bit, you know, put a bit of decoration on them, whether that's decoupage or highlighting what's already there. I mean, this is quite cute, really. And, you know, your bauble doesn't just have to be for Christmas. You know, it can be for all year. So whatever theme or design you've got within the interior spaces that perhaps you're looking to give that little extra something to, you could do this. This is another one. Oh, my goodness me. Now, as you can see, this was a little bit the worse for wear. There was obviously something a bit sticky on these at one point. Some sort of mistletoe berries or something. Similar top to the one that we showed you just now. We will be taking off the residue of that sticky stuff and probably maybe using some napkins, some beautiful printed napkins, do a bit of decoupage, perhaps a bit of paint pouring, seal with some acrylic with some resin and so on. As you can see, this one again in a little bit worse for the wear, but look at the detail on the top of these. As I said, these are all glass, originally quite expensive. We got them, I think, for the equivalent of about £1.50 each, so it's a couple of dollars each instead of what would have been £5 or £6 each. Now, couldn't resist a bargain. Again, a lot of people like the grey tones. These originally priced at £2. I think we got them for something ridiculous like £1, or that would be $1.50 if you're in the States. Very reasonable. There are 12 medium-sized baubles in this. They've got a matte surface, they've got a shiny surface. The top there, I think, actually does come out. These aren't glass though, these are plastic. And again, we've got lots of plans. Need to hide that join there. That's the only other thing when you get the plastic baubles. This is the matte one. It's quite nice though, really. I mean, you don't have to do a lot to these if you don't want to. But, you know, you can do quite a bit. And it just gives them that extra little something. My mother actually has a hand-painted bauble that I made for her a while ago now, 2 or 3 years. It might be 2 or 3 years ago now, which I did some paint pouring on for her and finished with a coating of resin. And it looks stunning. And she has that out all year. Then we found these, or I should say Wayne, who is also one of the artistic people here, one of the little designers, and also my partner in real life, in case you hadn't realised. He found these. He went, look at these. Look at these. He was thinking ahead to that time in February that a lot of people celebrate once a year. I have to say, why restrict celebrating the love of your life to once a year? Why do you just do it once a year? Why not every day of the year? So, you know, these we thought, well, lovely shape, although that does happen to look a little bit like a bottom. Shouldn't. Sorry, it makes me laugh now. Our son Hugo who does all the audio and video editing for us, said, "Mum, you realise that looks like a pair of butt cheeks." So apologies if I've offended anybody by saying that. But there we go. These also came with the little silver bits of thread or twine to hang them, but we'll be zhuzhing and decorating these up. Now, I couldn't resist. Velvet ribbon, £2, reduced down to £1. Opening up here now just to show you what they're like. It's 2 lengths of this rather lovely sort of short piled velvet ribbon. It's not the thinnest, it's about a medium width. You know, it's not heavy, it's quite light. It's very pale on that side, obviously. And then the more, you know, obviously the rich velvet texture on that side. But look at that. Will look stunning as a bow, or maybe wrapped around the outside of a bauble, perhaps. Now, I believe from memory, I think there were 5 meters. I'm not sure if that's 5 meters in total, I have to be honest, or whether it's 5 meters per length. I'm just looking to try and find it. Obviously. As of course, we would normally link everything that we've purchased, but because a lot of these were in the sale and they were bargains, you aren't necessarily going to be able to find them unless you've got these shops near you and you whiz along there quickly. Now this, just couldn't believe my eyes when I saw this. This is glass. It's a sort of slight smoky glass effect. Look at that beautiful detailing on the top there. Again, these were all half price. Originally sort of I think this was £3 originally, which is still rather cheap and reasonable. We got this for £1.50. We bought every single one that was left on the shelf, which I think was about 5 or 6 of them. But I have visions of making little mini terrariums, perhaps. I'm sure that does come off that top piece. But perhaps make some mini terrariums to put in there. Not real, but maybe made from resin. So perhaps some miniature leaves, ferns, succulent plants, some moss. Look absolutely stunning. Maybe some deep emerald green ribbon on the top, perhaps. Or you could even put some flowers. Now, if you made roses and so on, you could perhaps suspend some of those in there too. Will look equally stunning. This is another one of these gorgeous glass baubles. Slight green, mottled, sort of golden coloured glass. Reminds me of mercury glass. I don't know if you know what that is. Again, originally £3. We got this one for £1.50. There were only one of these, and the other 2 that you've seen similar to this. There were only one of them left, unfortunately. Otherwise, we'd have bought the others. But yes, lots and lots of ideas. More of a bronzed coloured top to that one as well. Oh, and here we go. Look at this. Oh my word. Now this is probably the one that I wouldn't do anything to, apart from perhaps just replace the ribbon. I love the detailing, the ribbed detailing there on the outside of it. The dark bronze sort of antiqued look to the top. Again, only £3 originally. Don't forget we got this in the sale, so we had 50% off of that. And they're just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. There we are. You imagine a collection of them, of the baubles, whether they're decorated or not, hand finished, in a bowl, on a console table, in a hallway, or in the centrepiece part on a dining table and so on. Look at this. We found these as well. Oh my goodness. Now we did get more than one of these. These are the Stacey Solomon range. Again, they were half price. I'm afraid I can't remember the cost of them. I think originally they were probably about £3 or £4. We got them at less than half price. Again, literally like about £1, £1.50 a bauble. Glass, and they've got what looks like a frosted glass raised effect on the outside. Stunning. Now, moving on. These were from HomeSense. Do you have a HomeSense near you? It's the interiors equivalent of TK Maxx. And these 2 designs of napkins were 2 of many, many, many that we could have bought. We did pay the price that you see on the label there. So they're £2.99. So that would be about $4, I think, equivalent. Stunning, just stunning napkins. I love these colours. Very summer, spring. And guesses in the comments as to what this flower might be that it's representing. Look at all those colours though. I mean, they're beautiful. So really, to be honest with you, you could have that as spring, summer and autumn. Maybe do winter as well if you kept with just the white and the mauve. But you could put these, you had them inset into coasters, trays, vases. You could decoupage with them, so you could upscale furniture, you could decorate the baubles and so on. But they're beautiful. Now, if you're going to decoupage, if you haven't done it before, a lot of the napkins, well, the 2 lots of napkins I'm going to show you are actually 3-ply. So what's meant by that? It's made of 3 pieces of this napkin paper. So that's the backing one. And then, you know, I'm not going to be able to do this on camera. This is just hilarious here. But basically, it's made up of 3 thin sheets of paper. And you only use the very top one when you are decoupaging. Moving on to the next pack. Orchids. Orchids and roses. Oh, probably peonies as well. Hydrangeas coming in maybe as well. My favourite flowers. We've got we're lucky in that we managed to be able to keep orchids in our house. They can be quite difficult to keep. Do you have a favourite flower that you're particularly good at keeping as a houseplant? So here we go again. We're just showing you there are 20 triple-ply napkins in this package, and it's called Slipper Orchid in Gold. Gold is the backing colour. And again, look, they come folded into 4. So you would open it out completely and then separate it. But I'm just trying to show you some of the shapes that you could get with coasters. You could centralise it around the orchids. So in fact, what you could do is make 3, maybe 4 orchids from 1/4 piece. Or if you wanted to be a bit more, obviously depending on the size of your coasters, you could be a bit more generous perhaps and just do 2 per quarter section of this napkin. But again, there we are, look, out into 4. So it's a repetition of one pattern 4 times. But stunning, absolutely gorgeous. Wow. I love these. I love orchids though. So no surprise really when I picked these up. Something else that we've bought from HomeSense, just to let you know, is gift bags. They've got some beautiful gift bags in there, not showing you those in this video, by a company called Violet Lane. Now, I have got rather a large collection of those. Does anybody else hoard things like that? I do. And you will see some of those in the new year, or this year, in some projects. So when is a gift bag not a gift bag? When it's in a tray or a coaster. So just trying to separate this for you now. Again, struggling. I have got gloves on for a reason. I'm going to be handling some moulds soon, which you will see very, very soon. So you can see I've taken the backing sheet off. Then this is the middle one. It's got a little bit of the pattern. The colour that they've used to print the pattern has bled through to the middle sheet. And then can you see how thin they are? And very carefully pull it apart. And that's the top one in my left hand, the one with all the colour and the pattern on it. That is the one you would use for decoupage. But it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Quite see-through, as you can see. Quite see-through indeed. There we are. Now, 3 beautiful books. Now these are from Aldi. Do you have an Aldi where you are? Quite often in Aldi and Lidl, they have what they call the middle of Lidl or the middle aisle of Aldi, and they'll have anything from colouring books to, I don't know, blow up beds to all kinds of things in there, to pet things and stuff. But I was given 2 of these books as a Christmas present, and I couldn't believe it. They are stunning, absolutely stunning. Again, I immediately thought I could transfer this pattern onto some coasters, as in I could use a glass relief pen tube of paint, or perhaps a glue gun, and I could draw it. Literally, I could draw it onto a silicone mould, probably a coaster or tray, and then transfer the design over. I mean, just look at these. Again, the quality of the paper on these, this is quite thick. So if you're going to use it, again, you can just use it, and you can use colouring pencils, paints. If you're going to use watercolours or really very watery paints, just do go a bit careful. Perhaps take them out of the book and put them on a little desk ease or a tray with perhaps some kitchen paper underneath, just to soak up any excess water you might have. But look at these. So much inspiration. This video really mainly is about inspiration that we had either from Christmas presents that we were given and gifted. We were very lucky. This was actually given to me by Wayne and Hugo, and I am very, very lucky is all I can say. Not sure what kind of creature that's supposed to be. It looks a bit like a raccoon, but very much spring there, perhaps with daffodils. But that was that book. Then we had one called Nature, which is, again, similar to the other book. Oh, sorry, that was Nature. Then we have this one, which is called Garden. Look at that on the front. Butterflies and flowers, two of my most favourite things. Look at that majestic bird. Very much mandala inspired here. Lots and lots of ideas, whether you take sections from it, whether you actually do colour in the piece, seal it, make sure you seal it, and then you decide to put it in a piece of art for your wall, in a picture frame. Give it a coat of resin over the top, but do make sure that you seal it first, because you don't want anything to run or bleed into the rest of where it shouldn't be in the papers. But look at that. Oh, caterpillars. Parrot, I think that was. Beautiful fuchsias with the hummingbirds. Shout out to everybody who loves hummingbirds. By the way, thanks again if you've joined us for this video. Don't forget like, share and subscribe, all the usual stuff. If you've joined us in the live chat when it premieres, thank you ever so much for joining us. First video back for the new year, bit of a lengthy one, as I said. We do understand that not everybody has the time to sit and spend an hour listening to me waffle on about what we've been lucky enough to be given, or what we've bought in bargains in the sale, and inspiration for projects for the whole of the rest of this year, really. Something else just to note for you, we are working hard on the website, really working hard. Some of the things that you would have seen in previous projects on our YouTube videos, if you haven't seen those, why not check out our playlist, have a little look through. There are lots to look through. Some of those pieces will be featured for sale on the website. Hopefully, fingers crossed, being launched towards the end of January. Can you believe it? Now, I love this. This fish is gorgeous. We have a miniature koi carp mould, which we've almost worn out, I have to say. But we also have a couple of fishes, moulds that are slightly bigger. So perhaps you'll see those later on, or in the near future too. So moving on, this is from Shein. Now, our Shein delivery was supposed to arrive before Christmas. Our Temu delivery was supposed to arrive before Christmas, but they had delays. So these arrived literally a couple of days afterwards. And we thought, well, okay, we'll sort through. We did order things for crafting, and we also ordered things for each other. So we had a few like little Christmas bits and pieces to give to each other, which was, was quite nice actually. But yeah, so this is what came through in the way of crafting. I saw these and I thought inspired, definitely inspired. Beautiful colours, lovely dusky pinks, paler pinks, baby pinks, almost a slight cream version perhaps there too. We bought 4 sheets of this. Now this is still on the Teemu, on the Shein, sorry, not the Teemu, the Shein website. It's still there. I will put links for things that we bought from Shein and Teemu. But unfortunately, I can't put links for anything else because, as I said, it is literally, in-store sale bargains when we saw them. But look at this. I'm just going to try and pick these up so you can see them a bit better. Now, that's the back of the flower. Now, these are pressed and dried flowers. Not just dried, they have been pressed as well. So they are dead flat. So if you've got a mould and you're thinking of putting it in a mould and it's not very deep, you should be absolutely fine using these. There we go. And look at this one. So that's the back of this. This is more like a daisy. Look at that. Paler pink there. Same colour as my gloves. Paler pink. But absolutely stunning. And 2 or 3 other little different types of flowers there. Now, going to try and put it back in it. This will be interesting. Right, so we also saw these. Now, I love green foliage. Now, we're very lucky, we've got some ferns in our garden. But, you know, they're not out all year. They tend to come out and come back to life, I should say, in the springtime. But they're great if you've got a garden that's got a lot of shade and, you know, they tend to survive in shady areas. But look at these. Again, these are pieces of foliage, beautiful colours on the back there, the silvery or the deep green colour. Again, they've been pressed and dried. Look at that. Oh, careful, those two little prong things. The miniature leaves, they're coming off, so I think I'll put those back. Again, a couple of other little types there too. So we also bought something that was very practical. And I don't know if anybody else has got these. They're great. They are a set of mixing jugs or mixing pots. And they're made from silicone. Twist and pull to get these apart. They're made from silicone, so the cleanup is easy peasy, very easy. The measurements of the volume of liquid are on the side there, although I always find those incredibly difficult to read. So I tend to, before I put anything in it to mix up, I find the measurement amount that I want and put a little biro marker next to it. But those are great. So we got some of those. We also got some of these. And again, you can use those larger mixing jugs for paint or resin or eco resin. Look at this. Again, because I think we've used we got other ones of these, but because we've used them and used them and used them, we've worn them out. But they are great. You can use them to mix up UV resin with a bit of glitter, and you can use either the actual spout there, or you can use the little handle at the side. But they were very, very reasonable, and you know, they're very, very good. Very, very reasonable. So we got some of those. Now, I hadn't seen these, so this is two of the same product coming up. Again, very reasonably priced, and they are collapsible mixing jugs, made from silicone again. So here we go. Let's just see if I can do this correctly. This was really quite funny because it's like, okay, how does this work? How does this work, Laura? How does this work? So you just literally pull it or press it. But I was quite fascinated because if you don't have any bangle moulds, then perhaps you could use this to make your bangles. You know, just a thought there. Did you see the round sections? They're like rings. You could use those to make bangles or, you know, hoops or little loops and things if you want to. But look at that. So, I mean, that does expand quite easily. It's not the most sturdy in the world. It does have the volume in liquid for liquids on the side. Again, I can't read that. So best thing to do, find the level you want, mark it with a pen before you start pouring your liquids in. Cleanup will be a breeze when it comes to using these. So here we are. Here's me struggling yet again to do something that's pretty basic. But there we go. Just pushing it back down. These are great as well. If you're limited with storage, like we are, and you're thinking, I really don't have room for something that is the size it is when it's expanded up, then, you know, you get something like this and you can collapse it again and it doesn't take up very much room at all. So the first one was 500 mils total volume. This second one that I'm showing you here now is a smaller one and it's 250 mils max. Exactly the same job as its bigger brother. And again, easily collapsible and expandable. There we are, look at that. There are those little rings there as well that you could use. So moving on, here we have, this is a stunning little mould. Now, we bought two of these. Two. Look at that. Look at all the detail. Again, it's got, this is the lid. It's got the supporting bars here, which are a bit more rigid. They're still made from silicone, but a bit more rigid. So they give you a nice bit of support when you're pouring in the resin. Very shiny, glossy mould on the inside there, lots of detail. So that's the leafy lid. Can you guess what this is? Can you guess what this is a mould for? But yeah, really looking forward to using this. Here we go. Here is the base. Now, the shape's gorgeous. You can make out there's a sort of indented, almost mottled look to the outside of it. It is a pot. There's the lid. Have you guessed it? Look at that. It's a strawberry. I've seen quite a few videos on Instagram, YouTube, where people, and Facebook, where people are using these. Now, this is me just struggling with my gloves to turn it inside out to actually try and show you. Look, failing, fail. Trying to show you what it looks like. So I took it out of the frame, handed it to the ever helpful Hugo, who was doing my direction for this video and also passing me the items. And he's just turning the mould inside out. It is easy to do. It's just me being a bit of a klutz with my gloves. So there you are. Look at that. So you can see it more, all the little raised sections. That would be where the little pips would be, which perhaps I would probably paint in afterwards in a gold, perhaps, on the beautiful red background of the fleshy part of it. Now, this didn't come as a set. I bought these separately. They were on the site and on the page together. They are reed diffusers. Now, they're a totally different shape to what I've seen on other websites. This one has got that lovely like ribbed effect on the outside. Very 1920s Art Deco sort of style, which is my favourite kind of style. Followed very closely by boho, if you've seen boho hippie chic type stuff. That's the lid part of the mould. And then these, once it's all cured and everything and you've demoulded it, you put one of those in the top. And hey presto, you've got your reed diffuser, or you could actually use it as a single stem vase as well. Look at that. Can't wait to try this one. So just pop that one back in the top there and put that one away. So we did get another one of these, exactly the same principle, but it is plain. So I'm just going to bring it up now. There we are. So here's the lid. There you are. Quite simple. Not a lot to show there, she says. And then here we go. I'm just wrestling a bit with the packaging. Apologies. And here we go with the base. And here's the base part. So completely plain on that side. It is a shiny mould, which is great. And that bit just goes in the top. You could use foil flakes, you know, like the gilding flakes in there. You could use glitter. You could use just a standard opaque resin. You could colour your resin with alcohol inks. You could also use eco resin. So I'm going to have a go with some Aquacast in there. Now, we still on the Shein order. By the way, none of this video today is sponsored by any of the companies that we're talking about where we got our bargains from. We funded it all ourselves. But as I said, we'll put links where we can for Shein and Temu, but unfortunately we don't have links for the other places where we bought items. So this rather nice little sort of, what do you call that, a rounded oblong shaped pot for putting things like nail polishes and things like that in. So that will be up and coming in a future video. Now look at this. Now I must admit, when I ordered this, on the page itself it had a big head of a stag like this, and it had a small one, and I thought, wrongly, that I was getting both. But only the big one turned up, and I checked my order. No, I'd only then ordered the bigger one. So I might go back on and just order the smaller one as well. So this makes a lovely, this isn't just for Christmas again, this makes a lovely interior decor piece. It'll look gorgeous in white eco resin, or if you wanted to do it silver, bronze, copper. I mean, you know, the colour, there's a whole rainbow of colours that you could use. In fact, you could have a rainbow themed stag's head, why not? But it's made of good quality silicone. It's got supportive parts there. Can you see those hanging down for the antler parts? Now, I was thinking, okay, so how do we balance this when it's full of resin? Because look, I mean, that ain't going to stand up. You're going to have resin everywhere. So I did check the website. And apparently these pieces of wood, the little mystery part, if you like, is supposed to put together to be able to make a frame for the mould to sit in whilst it's curing. And there's no real instructions. There's no instructions that come with it. Wonderful. I saw that these look like they fit in like that. I mean, I can't think that they'd fit in any other way. But I may be enlisting Wayne's help with this, because even when you see that I have managed to put all the little things in with those little pegs into the holes, it looks like it literally only just supports it. So I don't know if we'll use this to support that mould whilst it's got resin in it, whether it's eco resin or whether it's regular epoxy resin, whilst it's curing, or if we'll come up with something else. Wayne will MacGyver or Jimmy rig something up for me, I am sure. So do you see what I mean? It's still not supporting it. So have to check the website to see what am I doing wrong. Or maybe it's like that. That might work. Although I have to say, there's nothing there really securing it still. Back to the drawing board with that one, I think. Yeah, need a bit of advice from Wayne. Help. But yeah, I mean, it will probably be an eco-resin project, not an eco-resin, sorry, an epoxy resin project to start with, in which case, yeah, over to you, Wayne, to sort something out so that we've got a decent frame that will hold this in place, level, whilst it's curing. Because that definitely isn't going to hold it currently. Definitely not. So that was that one. It's a little bit of a mystery there. And then we've got the next one coming up any moment now, whilst I wait for my trusty assistant to hand it to me. Look at this. I love this. Again, this is a different kind of silicone. So I'm guessing you could use this for chocolate. It is a matte mould, not a shiny one. So much detail. Again, you could use this for eco resin. You could use it for epoxy resin. And it's stunning. There's a lot of detail. So you'll need to have a very steady hand, or maybe use some of the smaller mixing jugs like I showed you earlier to pour your resin into this. But it's a very decorative piece. It's not very deep. The mould is very stretchy, so it should be easy to demold. Just make sure you do leave it for the maximum amount of time possible to allow it to fully cure, because as I said, there's a lot of little bits of detail. But that I thought we could use on furniture. Now, sneaky peek. This is definitely going to be the next video after this. So this, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, are Friday's video coming up. You'll have seen this in a previous Teemu haul, I'm sure, but we just thought we'd give you a quick sneaky peek, keep you interested. So this is from Teemu. This was our long-awaited Teemu order. Now, Teemu are really good when it comes to things not arriving on time. We have got a credit back, a refund as a gesture of goodwill from them, because it didn't turn up until after Christmas. But look at this. I love this little shape. It's a little pot. It's got a lid on it. You don't have to do the lid if you don't want to. Shiny surface mould, nice and glossy. It's got the supportive crossbar bit in the bottom there. Won't take lots of resin. So, you know, if you've made up a batch of resin, you've made your project and you've got some left over, why not make one of these rather cute little pots? You can put all kinds of knickknacks and things in it. You could use it in your bathroom to store Q-tips or cotton wool buds and things like that. Or jewellery perhaps too. Now, look at these. Can you guess what these are? These are tiny, and I mean miniature. Miniature. Look at that. Now this one for some reason has got tape all around the bottom of it, which obviously you remove the tape before you use it. Can you guess what it's for? Now, it is my plan for sometime in the early part of this year to go back and do some acrylic paint pouring. I used to do quite a bit of it. I love doing it. I have a commission of 3 paintings to do, and I'm thinking of doing the technique where you would use this, but I'm going to try it out. I've got a much bigger version of this as well, but I'm going to try it out on a much smaller thing, like a coaster, a wooden coaster. It's for layering paint into it. Pour the paint, so you put this down onto your canvas or whatever substrate you're going to use, and you start pouring in the paint into the top, and it comes out the bottom, and it goes through these sections all across your substrate, whether it's canvas, coaster, whatever it may be. So I'm just going to show you what I mean. Here we are. Imagine that's your coaster. So you pour it in, and it will spread out, and it gives the most beautiful patterns. Now, I don't know about using this for resin. I'm not sure, because as I said, it is quite miniature. Maybe we'll have a go, but you'd have to have quite a liquid resin, so not a thick one, to do that. And next up, look at these. Lots and lots of holographic paper there. So sorry about that. Lots of reflection going on. We bought 2 of these sort of silver effect ones and 2 of the gold, but we've put all the gold into one package. But let's open the silver first now. These are PET stickers. If you've not used them before, they're usually on a clear background, and then they've got a lovely detailed print. So it could be butterflies, it could be this kind, which is a bit sort of zodiac themed. Oh, nope, I've changed it over there for the gold one. Apologies. These, they just caught our eye, and you peel, so you make your coasters, your tray, whatever it is you've decided to do. And then if you want to give a bit more embellishment, a bit more detail, you can select something like this that I'm showing you. Decide where you want to put it. Let your resin or eco resin cure, demold it. Decide where you want to put these details. You peel off the backing part of it. It's not picking it up very well, but there is a lot of detail on those. And then you stick it down to your piece that you're working on. Thoroughly stick it down, get rid of all any little air bubbles and so on, and then you can do, once you've put on enough of what you want to put on, you can then put a top coat, a thin layer of either UV resin, depending on what size your project is, or a very thin layer of regular epoxy resin. Now look at these. Hopefully this is again, sorry about the camera work here, you can tell I'm a bit rusty. These have got like a little silver effect. They're gorgeous. There's so many in the packet. There will be a link for this one, because obviously this one is from, I believe, from Teemu. Apologies, it might be from Shein. But yeah, there'll be links for the Shein and the Teemu bits that we're showing you in the description box. As I said before, I think probably bored you all with this now. Asda, Dunelm Mill, Hobbycraft. Where was the other place we went? Yeah. There won't be links, unfortunately, because it was literally just in their sale. But look at these feathers. So these are PET stickers as well. There's such a big range on whether it's the Shein website you look at or the Teemu website or app that you use. Such a vast array. I mean, we've got lots of jellyfish type ones, butterflies. You may have seen those in some of our previous videos. If you haven't, why not take a look back through our playlist, and you'll probably be able to see them in a Teemu haul video, or where we've done projects and we've just embellished and done a little bit more detail on trinket trays. I loved these feathers. Now, we bought 2 packs of 3 different colours. There was a 4th colour as well. I think I only show you 2 colours worth here. But we've got a blue tone one, a purple tone of one, and we've also got a sort of beige, natural, sort of browny coloured tones. I did also try and order pinks, but they'd sold out, which was upsetting, really, to be honest with you. But there's so many ideas for these. So many ideas that we have for these. So just now trying to get them all out of camera shot. Sorry about all the reflective glare and everything there. And the shadow of the camera. But never mind. But look at this in a bit more detail up close. Can you see it's got an outer edge, that clear part? Now, some people do trim that up a bit before they stick it down. I mean, most of the time you can't see it, but obviously it depends on how confident you are at using them and so on. But look at that. Lovely, lovely. Of course, they are also available, PET stickers, through Amazon and lots of other hobby type websites and craft supply shops. Look at these. They're gorgeous. We got 2 packets of each colourway because I wasn't sure if there was a repetition or not of design. I don't think there is, but there might be. Only like once, like repeated once. So you've got 2 of everything. So if you wanted to put these, pick your favourite one and maybe put them in an open backed bezel or a closed back bezel. Look at that. And then cover it in UV resin. You can dome it. I do tend to like doming. And then you could make them into earrings or maybe a lovely pendant, or you could have it as the focal part for maybe a slider bracelet. You know, the ones with the adjustable knots and things like that. It would look absolutely stunning. I love these. Yeah, lots and lots of ideas and inspiration just running through my head at the moment. We've got a lot of ideas, hopefully some new techniques to bring to you as well this year. Let's just, don't forget, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We do upload videos usually 3 times a week. We've had a bit of a break for the festive period and the new year. Usually 3 times a week, and Wednesdays, Fridays, Sundays at 5 p.m. UK time. Look at these. These are stunning. They remind me of doilies. Does everybody know what a doily is? Put a comment in down below in the comments box if you know what a doily is. This was my grandma's special type thing. It reminds me a bit of her when she'd do we have family get-togethers and do a big spread of things and have a doily maybe on a plate where you put like little cakes and things. But look at this. So we've got 3 colourways here. So that's sort of like a beige or taupey colour or a cream colour. Lovely designs. Look at that. They are made of paper. These, they're not wooden, they're made of paper. I think we're going to be buying some more of these as well, because you know, you just pour your regular resin, pop one of these onto your tray or your coaster, and you know, pour some clear resin over the top, obviously, you know, let things cure and so on, and you've got a beautiful gift. We have got some plate moulds that these would look stunning in as well. Look at those. Beautiful. Now, if your hand is steady enough, you could put this down, secure it down onto your cured piece, whether it's a tray, a trinket tray or a big tray, and then once it's secured down, you could go over all that detail with some UV resin in one of the little tubes, you know, the coloured UV resin. I don't know if you've seen that, or maybe with the gold. Oh my gosh. You could put it to one side, put it on some greaseproof paper or kitchen paper and dust mica powders over it. Look just as stunning. Wow. Look at that. So there are a bit more detail there. It's a green colour as well. Green, very much the in colour for last year. There you are. There's a bit of an update on what they come is. Now look at this. Faux leather. My goodness me. What an intricate design. It's a thin, it's not a thick leather, but it is embossed. And look at this detail. Look at the foliage. There's some berries, some beautiful flowers. It is the same print on each one of these different colourways. It's quite a good sized piece, and again, so much inspiration, whether or not you put you roll out some air dried clay so it's quite thin, and then press this down onto the top of it and then roll it over the top of that, and then take it back, remove it from the air dry clay. So you've got the imprint, and then use sort of like cookie cutter or something like that to then cut out your coasters. Neaten up the edges with a slightly damp finger or brush, and then let them air dry. And then obviously seal them, and then do any other little decorations, embellishments. 4 different colours, that beautiful green, the sort of muted colour, 5 colours even, warm apricot, the sage blue, 6 colours, Laura, honestly. The lovely stone grey and that deep tan colour or fawn colour. Lots and lots of lovely, I mean, you know, I love this. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Lots and lots of ideas, maybe even some jewellery. Oh, now jewellery would look lovely. Right. Yeah, as I said, lots of inspiration, lots of ideas. They do also do these in different colourways and designs as well. Now, Asda. No, not Asda. We've done Asda, haven't we? Goodness me, Laura. This was Dunelm Mill. Now, Dunelm Mill is a UK retailer. They also have an online website. They happen to have a sale on at the moment, and I've just spotted these. They're supposed to be for Christmas ornaments, hanging decorations. You've got one side is shiny and one side is more like a brushed stone effect. Now, you probably can't see it very well, but just on the surface of this, in fact, this camera's not picking up at all, there is the word Noel, Noel, written on it. It's hardly noticeable. You definitely can't feel it if you rub your finger over it. Now, we just thought, wow, these would be good just to decorate up, and then you could have them hanging throughout the year for whatever theme you wish. This particular colour, again, very, very popular for 2024. Nicely rounded edges. Don't really need to do a lot to this at all. But I thought those were stunning. Now, we also bought some of these gift tags. Now, those were half price, by the way. They were about 50p each. These were also 50p each. Now, 2 different designs of gift tag, but not particularly Christmassy. Now, it says they're £1, which would be about $1.50, but we actually got them half price, so equivalent would have been 75 cents, but obviously it was 50p for us. But they're lovely. Patterned on one side, not patterned on the other. Obviously, you need to do something regarding the little punched out hole at the top there, but that was 8 gift tags. Now, whether you use them for crafting or whether you use them to label up presents for people, that's totally up to you. But lots of ideas again there. Look at this. Now, I don't know if you make reed diffusers, but we do, and we have shown you some moulds that we've purchased earlier in this video. Now, we saw these reed diffusers, lots of different colours, again in Dunelm Mill. These were actually in the sale at 50p per packet. 50p. And so we got 2 of each, I think, or did we get 4 of each? And then we've got this beautiful sort of seafoam greeny colour. Pale of pastel, sort of palish pastel pink. Goodness me, Laura, teeth in. And also, I think we got them in a pale, there we are. That's the sort of grey colour, which is rather lovely. And I'm trying to read, I think that says, yeah, 10 actual reeds in each pack. So lovely. Now, we also got potpourri. Now, we don't normally have potpourri in our house because we have dogs and they would probably try and eat it. But £4 originally, £2 in their half price sale. And for those of you who have made lovely coffee tables, river tables, anything like that, lovely round, big, large pieces of wall art decor pieces, you may have used something similar. Now, it is our intention to use these to make tops of coffee tables. You see what I mean? Little hints there. We're going to do our best to see how it works, but there's a selection of these different, I mean, we couldn't not do it. And it'll give us a good practice session for when we come to make our own kitchen table. Yes, you heard it here. We're going to attempt to make our own kitchen table. We're going to use an existing tabletop. cut a chunk out of it and design a central, or just design a central piece for it. But I love this, particularly love that flower there. So if you joined us today, thank you for joining. If you're a subscriber, hi, welcome back. Hope you're having a lovely new year, that you had a great festive holiday, and that, you know, you have a happy, healthy new year and a creative new year. That's what we're hoping for. If you've joined us to watch today, whether you've joined us and we are watching the premiere because it's a recommendation from YouTube and you haven't subscribed, why not subscribe to our channel? As I said before, we upload 3 times a week, Wednesdays, Fridays and Sundays, usually, but we've been on a bit of a Christmas New Year break, at 5 p.m. UK time. And sometimes we do videos like this, sometimes we do a Temu haul, but more often not, it's more like a how-to videos, running anything from 12 minutes to half an hour, although this one is the longest yet at nearly an hour. So we do appreciate people spending what is your valuable time out of your day to watch this, to watch our video. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. If you've got any suggestions of what we can make with these things, these items that we've purchased, then drop them in the comments and we'll have a look, and who knows, maybe you'll see your idea come to fruition in a video sometime in the near future. But we just loved these, absolutely loved them. If you haven't got a YouTube account, it's easy to make one. It doesn't cost you a thing. Subscribing to our channel is absolutely free. Absolutely free. But, you know, we just hope you enjoy watching. But look at that, like an old tea rose sort of thing there. And you've got little husks and seeds and dried herbs. Not herbs, they look like seed heads to me. And husks of things. Gorgeous. Can't wait to use these. It's probably going to be Wayne that you see using these in the coffee tabletops, because unfortunately I do have an allergy to epoxy resin. Not Aquacast Eco Resin, thank goodness. But I do to epoxy resin, and it's one of the reasons why I am wearing double gloves. I've got on white cotton gloves, and then I've got these pink nitrile gloves on over the top. I normally wear arm protectors as well, arm and sleeve protectors, but just have to stop. Look at this, a little bit of something there. Look at this, oh my goodness, gorgeous. Lots of what looks like whole seeds or nuts as well in this bag. But yes, so I double glove like that. It's comfort for me. It prevents me from getting everything, because one of the reasons why I'm wearing this video is because I've been handling silicone molds, and I've also been, I'm also sitting in an area where there is resin. So I'm just being extra specially careful. Don't forget, if ever you're working with epoxy resin and sometimes eco resin, up to you if you want to do this with eco resin and UV resin, make sure that you do wear your gloves. Follow all the PPE recommendations. So gloves, like I'm wearing there. You don't have to double glove, but gloves like I'm wearing there. Sleeve protectors or arm protectors. You can get this all off of Amazon. It's cheap enough. And for your own health and safety whilst using epoxy resin, please, please, please do it. Also wear a respirator mask. Goggles if you want to, you know, eye protection. And work in a well-ventilated area. There we are. Lecture over and done with. There we are, look at that. Some of the colours, they're just warmth. So we're going to try and follow with collections this year, very loosely following the seasons. So spring, summer, autumn, winter. We currently are in winter, so we're a little bit late off the mark, but there we go. We picked up 2 of these beautiful glass vases. Still from Dunelm, originally £12, reduced down to £6. Now, we may decorate the outside of these. We may decorate the inside. I'm not going to give away any more than that, apart from the fact that watch this space. Hit your notification bell, subscribe to the channel, and who knows what we will create with these beautiful vases. there were only 2 left on the shelf, so we snapped up both of them. Now, we couldn't not go to Hobbycraft. Now, Hobbycraft is probably the equivalent of Hobby Lobby in the States. And we saw these. They have a permanent clearance section in our Hobbycraft branch here in Bristol, where we are. And they had these. Now, these are a bit like a Kilner jar. So you've got a glass jar, a metal top, and it's got a hole cut out the middle. It's got a rubber seal on it around the hole. And one of these, yes, I know it's plastic, but it's a permanent straw. So very much in vogue still. Probably more for the spring summer, perhaps this style. If you do alfresco dining outside and so on, then they were great. Those were 75p each. Now, we didn't know what this was. Again, this is Hobbycraft. And it's unusual to say the least. We hoped it was going to be a bit like it is on the picture, but we thought, you know what, we'll risk it. And look at this. Now, immediately Wayne was saying to me, ooh, looks like driftwood. You know, if you're walking on a beach and, you know, driftwood and so on has washed up or is there, depending on what part of the world you're in, it would be great to use them for larger pieces that are ocean themed. So you'd have your sand area and the waves, some shelves, maybe some driftwood. River tables, perhaps, coffee tabletops as well. Maybe even for fixing to the outside of vases, but I didn't say that. Who knows? Look at that. Lovely. There will be a link, by the way, to that product in the description box. Now we also got these putka pods, 40 grams in there, and I just thought, wow, they look like fun. Now that I did open them before this, and they also reminded me of miniature pumpkins. Now I'm assuming there's some sort of seed pod, I'm not sure what, or what they look like when they're in bloom or have grown, but look at those. So many different colours of beige, brown, tan, fawn, darker khaki perhaps, but they're just perfect in their miniature sizedness. I don't think that's actually really good for English speaking like that, but never mind. But look at those. So those really, they don't need any embellishing. You could do a little bit of gold rub wax over the top perhaps, or not, totally up to you. You could paint them if you wanted to, but to be honest with you, I just think these will look lovely. If you do, I think they're called dioramas, aren't they? You know, the little display things, they'd come in useful for that. Maybe you could make a stem and convert them or make them into miniature mushrooms if you do things like little fairy houses or mushroom houses. Yeah, lots and lots of ideas, a lot of wild flowers and fairy themed little houses. Lots of ideas, lots and lots of ideas. So here is a little bit of a whiz round of some of the things that we've shown you. Now, I don't have an area big enough in our crafting area space that we have to display everything that we bought. So this is just a small selection of what we did get. But look at that. Wow, I cannot wait. But so, just to finish up by saying thank you so much. We send you all our love and well wishes for this new year, 2025. So don't forget, we will see you again very, very soon. This is actually Friday's video. Apologies. I said Wednesdays earlier, I think. Next one we showed you the sneak peek of will be happening on Sunday. And don't forget, we did Asda, we did Hobbycraft, we did Temu, we did Shein, we did Dunelm Mill, and we did HomeSense. So loads. But thanks again, everybody, and goodbye.